Hi everyone, welcome back to John's Fish Hut. I'm just in feeding the fish and my nearby Corydoras have started spawning. I don't know, some eggs here, on the back as well, some everywhere. So just I thought I'd do a quick video and show you how I collect the eggs, the process that I do to hatch them out. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy it. First thing I do, I get a small container, fill it with the water from the tank. You can use any kind of specimen tub or container that you have, obviously make sure it's clean as possible. And all I do from there, well, you can see on the glass here the eggs, I don't really see them just behind my hand here. You can use something to scrape them off, like a card, or some people use a razor blade, a Stanley blade or something. I prefer just using my finger. They are very tough, the eggs, so you can use your finger and don't need to worry too much about them breaking. Obviously be gentle as possible, but so I don't know how well you can see them on my finger there. And all I do inside the tub, I just roll them off my finger onto there. There's quite a few here, so I catch as many as I can. The saying here, I've got albino and normal sterbies. They just spawn and I get a mixture of both, which is quite handy actually, rather than having two tanks. They obviously live very peaceful together. Oh, that was a good catch. I'm obviously getting better at this. Don't know whether that's showing up on the camera. Again, it doesn't matter if they fall down at the bottom of the water as well. You want to separate them a little bit. Some of them aren't fertilised and they can get fungus on them, and if they're touching other eggs it'll just spread onto the fertilised ones as well, so you really need to make sure. But what I'll do, I'll show you how I stop that happening. So I'll just get these as much as I can. Obviously things like Corydoras, sterbies especially, I love sterbies, they're actually one of my favourite Corydoras. Go in every tank, they're lovely with the nice orange fins on them, even the albino ones, they've got nice orange side fins as well. But they go in every tank. I had them in a tank with discus because they can handle a bit of warmer temperatures. So they're really good to keep a discus actually. Swimming about the bottom. So again, just try to get as many as I can. The thing what's happened, yesterday I fed them bloodworm, white worm, brine shrimp, and just now in Scotland where I am, we're getting a good bit of low pressure as well. A low pressure system with the weather, so they're obviously, it's sprung them into action for spawning. I think there's loads in this plant as well. Again, I don't know how well you can see that there, but they're all over the leaves, which I'll need to catch. They do come off quite easy, and they're sticky as well, so they stick to your finger a little bit. Sometimes they're difficult to get off your finger when you're putting them in the tub, but I've gone between my thumb, and all you do is kind of roll them about your finger a little bit, and they fall off. They'll go down to the bottom and settle down there as well. I think that's all I've got at the moment. And believe it or not, there's probably about 30 odd eggs I've got there just now. They're still spawning at the moment, so I'll come back again later on tonight and probably collect more. So next part, I'll just show you what I do next. So once I give it a good shake, very handy to keep in your fish shed or your fish room, methylene blue. I'll try and link a description. I got it from Amazon, King British it's called, the one I use. Methylene blue, you get all different kinds. Again, it's actually good, it helps, you can heal fish with it as well if you get any kind of fungal diseases on them. You've got to be really careful and read the instructions as well, because you could medicate and kill fish as well, so it's not ideal. The Corys are literally, there's not even much in that, if you can see it. Some people go a bit mad, and if you can see the water here, it's just enough. I'll probably put in a little bit there. It's just enough to turn the water a pale kind of blue. So if I was going to take a guess, I'd say it's probably about 3 or 4 drips max. Yeah. Give that a wee mix about. And all I do next is turn you around. Try and keep them a wee bit higher in the shed or back in the tank, obviously the warmer up high here. And all I do from there, I've got an air stone, I pop it in the tub and obviously turn it on, wherever it may be. Where are you? There you are. It doesn't need to be a lot either, it's just enough to keep the water moving over them, to keep them going, the fungus away and keep them as clean as possible. I don't know if I've got a torch actually, I could show you that better. I'll just grab one. That's a wee bit better. So even that, I'm actually going to turn it down a wee bit, it's probably too much to be fair. Yeah, that's better. So just a nice kind of gentle bubble to keep the water moving across them, methylene blue, and it to keep the fungus away. As you can see here, I've got, this is angel eggs, some still on there, but down in this corner, they're all starting, we'll have to get a better light on them. Well, you can see them in that corner, they're all wiggling away in the corner there, so they're still at the stage they've got an egg sac, they've just fell off the cone, there's quite a few in there as well. And from there, once they're a bit bigger and free swimming, I'll change the water out as I go along each day, maybe take it down a little bit here, fill it back up with fresh water each day, get rid of the methylene blue, and then they'll go to a grow out tank. So that one there, and then from that tub, when they're a bit bigger and they start eating a bit of brain shrimp, I take them over to the fry rack. Just now I've actually got pleco eggs, the long fin lemon blue eyes. He actually kicked his eggs out. I've hatched them before in a tumbler, so I've got so many at the moment. I've popped them in here to see how well they do. They look really good at the moment, so they'll probably hatch in there anyway. But when the Corydoras are a bit bigger, they'll come over here. There's some in here already. Maybe not. Oh, there's one. I don't know how you can see it in the camera. There's an albino one in there, but there's some in here as well, along with shrimp and other things. So down there in the corner. So I'll put them in there until roughly they're about this size. They'll make sure they're eating a lot of brine shrimp and they're not struggling. And then they'll go over here into a bigger grout tank. And it's fine to mix them because you know they look different. I've got Aspedoris in here, these little ones. I've got Sterbai, albino Sterbai, and I think that's all in that tank. And I've found if you put them in a bigger tank as soon as possible, I've not filled it up here, so they'll still come up and breach for air. So it's just to give them a chance to get up when they're smaller. But like in this one, this is the next one, they're getting bigger as well. Again, I've got Aspedoris, Sterbai, and a little guppy swimming about in there. I don't actually know how that got in there. So you're really aiming to try and get them to grow as fast as possible. I feed them microworm and baby brine shrimp as well, and I find that gets them going really fast. I've got small pellets I use as well. So that's basically how I get them from eggs and hatch them out in the methylene blue. And it really is as simple as that. Even here, once they hatch out the eggs, I'll start changing out the water. Feed them in here for a little while, maybe a couple of days, make sure they're eating, and then I'll put them in the fry rack. And then from there, they'll get bigger, grow out and get them to a shop. Some of these are green, the brocus, the emerald brocus as well. Hopefully they'll spawn in the next few days. These guys have just spawned as well. This is gold bar Schultzi. There's actually tons of eggs in here. All over the back of the glass. In that corner. These are a wee bit more sketchy. These ones that they don't like, they're camera shy, we'll call it that. But I think the low pressure's brought everything. I've actually had the angelfish, they've spawned again in the back there. Let's see them. So, but I'm going to leave them. I'm going away on holiday. Sorry, I'm not. I'm going away to work for a while. So I'm going to leave them in there. Hopefully they do it themselves and raise them. It saves a tank. But what I'll do, when I'm back, I'll give a wee update on the fish hut. Probably take more fish to the local fish shop as well. And with any luck, these big guys are going to spawn for me. Right now they're not having it. But stay tuned for more updates in the fish hut, and hopefully I'll have other things spawning. Rams, they should be getting bigger as well, and hopefully giving me a spawn. But thanks for watching. Again, if you can subscribe, fantastic, be much appreciated. Hit a wee like as well, and I'll catch you in the next one. If there's any suggestions, what you'd like to see, any information you would like on the next video, just let me know as well. That'd be great, and take care. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers, bye bye.